Good morning, children. Today I am going to start with the chapter 4, Organ and Organ System in Animals. In this chapter we are going to discuss about the morphology of three species: earthworm, frog and cockroach. Introduction. From microbes to the blue whale, organisms occur in different sizes and shapes with a well organized organ and organ system. The basic tissue organized to form an organs, which in turn associate to form organs system in multicellular organisms. Such an organization is essential for efficient and better coordinated activities of millions of cells constituting an organisms. You are being introduced to understand the morphology, anatomy of three organisms placed at different evolutionary levels to show their organization and functions. Morphology refers to the study of form or externally visible features. The word anatomy is used for the study of internal organs in the animals. This chapter deals with the morphology and anatomy of invertebrates represented by the earthworm and cockroach, and the vertebrates represented by the frog. Okay, so in this lesson, children, as we discussed in the third chapter, cells are together form tissues, tissues together form organs, and organs are together form organ system. Organ system make a whole organism. This is a basic concept of all living organism. From single cellular microbes to blue whale, all the organisms, they are differ in their size and shape. Though they are differ in their sizes and shapes, they have a common organization, that is cells together form tissues, tissues together form organs, organs together form organ system, like that, right? So in this chapter we are going to discuss about three animals which are placed at a different position in evolutionary races. Okay, one is earthworm, another one is cockroach, and third one is frog. Frog is an example of vertebrates. And about their morphology, anatomy, we are going to discuss here. What is morphology, what is anatomy, or differentiate morphology, anatomy, you will get as 2 or 3 mark question. The word morphology refers to the form of structure which are visible externally are called morphology. And anatomy, the word anatomy is used for the study of internal organs in the animals. So then this chapter we deals with the morphology, anatomy of invertebrates represented by earthworm and cockroach, and vertebrate represented by frog. Let's see about earthworm. Earthworm Lambito mariti. Earthworm is a invertebrate animals. Actually, earthworm is an invertebrate animals. Its scientific name is Lambito mariti, that inhabits the upper layer of the moist soil rich in decaying organic matter. It is nocturnal, and during the day it lives in burrows made by burrowing and swallowing the soil. In gardens, they can be traced by their fecal deposit known as worm casting on the soil surface. Earthworm are considered as friends of farmers. The common Indian earthworm or Lampito mariti, then Megascolus mariti we can say as, then Perionyx excavatus, and Metaphyre posthuma. So these are the various Indian earthworm we can see. Actually, earthworm, it's a terrestrial invertebrate which are habited in the upper layer of the soil, that you know very well, where the rich organic matter is present. It is nocturnal. What is mean by nocturnal? It can be active only during night time. It is called nocturnal. During daytime it lives in the burrowing. Inside the burrow, which decay the or swallow the soil. And in gardens we can trace the place of earthworm by its casting on the soil surface. and earthworms are considered as farmers or friends of farmers, that we know very well. The common Indian earthworm you will get as a 2-mark question. Lampetomorti, another one is Perionyx excavatus and Metaphyre postma are the sum of the common earthworm we can see. Earthworms are also conveniently classified based on their ecological strategies as epigic, annex and endogics. So earthworm, classify earthworm based on their ecological strategies. Okay, one is epigic, annex and endogics. What is mean by epigic? Greek for up on the earth. That is, the earthworm which are 12 on the surface are called epigic. Example, Perionyx excavatus and Eutrylus eugenia. Then annex, annex means what? Out of the earth, are found in the upper layer of the soil. Example, Lampetomorti, Lumbricus terrestris. And endogics, that means inside, within the soil or within the earth, are found in deeper layers of the soil. Example, Octochetana thurstoni. So classify, this is very important for 3-mark question. Classify earthworm based on their ecological strategies. They are epigic, anegics, and with the example you should write. Okay, epigic, it is up on the surface, that is surface dwellers. Then example, Perionyx excavatus. Then next one is annex, found on the layer of the soil. And Lampetomorti, endogenics, it's found inside the deeper layer of the soil. Octochetana thurstoni. And morphology, sorry, classification I forgot to say. Classification, earthworm belongs to the phylum Annelida, class Alicocheta, order Haplotaxida, genus Lampeto and species Mauriti. Okay, let's see the morphology of Lampetomorti, commonly found in Tamil Nadu. It has a long and cylindrical narrow body which is bilaterally symmetrical. Lampetomorti, its length is 82 to 10 millimeter in length with a diameter of 3.5 to 5 millimeter, and its color is brown in color with a purplish tinge at the anterior end. This color of the earthworm is mainly due to the presence of, please underline it, a pigment called porphyrin pigment. Wherever there will be a color, there will be a pigments present in that place. So the color of the brown color in earthworm is due to a pigment called porphyrin. The body of earthworm is encircled by a large number of grooves which divides it into a number of compartments called segments or metameres. Okay, what is metameres or segments? 2-mark question bracketed. The body of earthworm is encircled by a large number of grooves. We can see அப்படியே என்ன சொல்றது, round round நம்ம பார்க்க முடியும். We can see the this round shaped grooves over the surface of the body of earthworm, and which is divided into a compartment internally also, and this is called segments or metameres. Lampetomorti consists of how many segments? 165 to 190 segments it possesses. The dorsal surface of the body is marked by a dark mid-dorsal line, that is called dorsal blood vessels. And ventral surface is distinguished by the presence of genital openings, and the mouth is found in the center of the first segment. Where the mouth is present, it is found in the center of the first segment, and this is called as of the body called peristomium. Overhanging the mouth is a small flap called the upper lip or prostomium. Okay, the mouth is a small flap called upper lip or prostomium. The last segment has the anus called pygidium. So in the first segment, the mouth is present called peristomium, and the mouth is overhanged by a small flap of upper lip called prostomium, and the last segment possesses anus. This structure of anus is called pygidium. In mature worm, segments of 14 to 17, that is 14, 15, 16, 17. The 4 segments may be found swollen with a glandular thickening of the skin called as clitellum. Please bracket it. What is clitellum in earthworm? In mature earthworm, segments of 14 to 17 may be found swollen with a glandular thickening of skin, and this is called clitellum. And its function, mention its function. This helps in the formation of cocoon. Due to the presence of clitellum, the body of an earthworm is divided into pre-clitellar region and post-clitellar region. So the earthworm possesses clitellum in its 14th to 17th segments. Due to the presence of clitellum, the body of the earthworm can be divided into three segments, that is a pre-clitellar region, that is the segments which are present in front of clitellum or prior to clitellum, that is 1 to 13th segments are called pre-clitellar region, and 14th to 17th segment it is a clitellar region, and after 14th to till last segment it is called post-clitellar region. In all the segments of the body except the first, last and clitellum, there is a ring of chitinous body setae. This body setae arises from setigerous sacs of the skin and it is curved as S-shaped. Okay. So, in all the segments of earthworm except first segment, last segment and clitellar segment, that is first, last, 14 to 17 segment. Except those segments, all other segments they have a ring of chitinous body, it is called setae, and setae which are arised from the setigerous sacs which are present in the skin and which form a curved shape or S-shaped structure, and setae can be produced or retracted, and their principal role is in locomotion. So the function of setae is locomotion. So what is setae? Mention its function. You can write this answer. The external apertures are the mouth, anus, dorsal pores, spermatical openings, genital openings and nephrodiopores. So these are the various aperture which are present externally in the earthworm. The aperture present externally on earthworms are mouth, anus, dorsal pores, spermatical openings, genital opening and nephrodiopores. The dorsal pores are present from the 10th segment onwards. The coelomic fluid communicates to the exterior through these pores and keeps the body surface moist and free from harmful microorganisms. Okay, next. Coelomic fluid. The coelomic fluid, you know very well, the fluid which is present in the region of coelom is called coelomic fluid. This coelomic fluid communicate, which is present inside the body, which communicate to the exterior through these pores and keeps the body surface moist and free from harmful microorganisms. Okay. So, as I said, external apertures are many apertures. They are present on the outer surface of the body. What is their function? You know, the coelomic fluids are present inside the animal body of all organism or all species. These in earthworm, this coelomic fluid present inside the body will be communicate to the outside of the body through these pores. Okay. This coelomic fluid keeps the body surface of earthworm moisture condition. That's it. The coelomic fluid next and keep the body free from harmful microorganism also. This is the function of what? Coelomic fluid. Next is spermatical opening, which are three pairs in ventrolateral aperture lying intersegmentally between the grooves of the segment 6, 7, 7, 8 and 8, 9. Actually there are three pairs of spermatical openings. Okay. Where they are located ventrolaterally, they are located intersegmentally between the grooves of the segment 6, 7, 7, 8 and 8, 9. The female genital aperture lies on the ventral side in the 14th segment and a pair of male genital aperture are situated lateroventrally in the 18th segment. Actually, next, okay, spermatical openings are three in pairs which are present in between the segments, that are in the grooves which are present in between the segments of 6 to 7 and 7 to 8 and 8 to 9. Between these segments they are present. The female genital aperture lies on the ventral side in the 14th segment and a pair of male genital aperture are situated lateroventrally in the 18th segment, right? Longest species of earthworm, please go through it by yourself. Next, nephridiophores are numerous and are found throughout the body of the earthworm except a few anterior segments through which the metabolic waste are eliminated. Next one is nephridiophores, which are numerous in number, found throughout the body except few segments which are present in the anterior region of the body. Okay, what is the function of nephridiophore? These are the nephridiophores which are eliminate the metabolic waste. Okay, and next one is anatomy. So far we have discussed about the morphology of earthworm. Now we are going to anatomy, which are meaning of internal study of internal structure. Okay, so we are going to see the internal structure of earthworm. The body wall of earthworm is very moist, thin, soft, skinny, elastic, and consists of the cuticle, epidermis, muscles, and coelomic fluid. Okay, actually the body wall of the earthworm we know very well, which is always moist in condition and very thin, soft, skinny, elastic, and consists of a cuticle, epidermis, muscles, and coelomic epithelium. The epidermis consists of supporting cells, gland cells, basal cells, and sensory cells. A spacious body cavity called coelom is seen between the alimentary canal and the body wall. Okay, we can say what is mean by coelom. Space between the space between the body wall and digestive tract is called what? Coelom. The coelom contains the coelomic fluids and serve as hydrostatic skeleton in which the coelomocytes are known to play a major role in regeneration, immunity, and wound healing. So the coelom contains the coelomic fluid and serves as hydrostatic skeleton, okay, in which the coelomocytes are known to play a major role in regeneration, immunity, and wound healing. The coelomic fluid of the earthworm is milky alkaline, which consists of granulocyte, ileocyte, amoebocyte, mucocyte, and leukocytes. Okay, so mention the composition of coelom present in the earthworm and write the names of the cells present in the coelomic fluid. Okay, so this is the answer. The coelomic fluid of earthworm is milky alkaline and which consists of cells like granulocyte or ileocytes, amoebocytes, mucocytes, and leukocytes. Okay, right. And these things I want to discuss with you children. What are the various segments and its comparison of Lampetomordi and Metapire postuma. These are the two differences between two anatomical difference between the two different earthworms. One is Lampetomordi, another one is Metapire postuma. Please children, this you have to go through by yourself. Don't miss it. You can expect question from this. Since we have more lesson and short period of time, I want to go little fast. Please go through by yourself children. Next I will start with digestive system of earthworm. Digestive system of earthworm. So the digestive system of the earthworm consists of the alimentary canal and the digestive glands. As like us, this earthworm also consists of digestive tract and also accessory glands called digestive glands. The alimentary canal runs as a straight tube throughout the length of the body from the mouth to anus. Okay, actually the alimentary canal of the earthworm is a straight tube from mouth to anus. And the mouth opens into the buccal cavity which occupies first and second segment. Buccal cavity leads into a thick muscular pharynx which occupies the third and fourth segment and is surrounded by the pharyngeal glands. Okay, actually so mouth, as like us, mouth leads to buccal cavity and buccal cavity opens into a muscular pharynx. Buccal cavity occupies the first and second segments and the muscular pharynx which occupies the third and fourth segments and is surrounded by the pharyngeal glands. The pharynx are surrounded by pharyngeal glands. Sorry children, sorry please. Next, The small narrow tube esophagus lies in the fifth segment. Okay, next to pharynx, which are open into the fifth, another one part called esophagus which are present in the fifth segment, and this esophagus continued as a muscular gizzards which is present in the sixth segment. The gizzard helps in the grinding of soil particles and decaying leaves. The function of gizzard, which is act as a stomach in our body, and it is present in the sixth segment, and its function as grinding of soil particles and decaying leaves. Next, intestine. It starts from seventh segment and continues till the last segment. Dorsal wall of the intestine is folded into the cavity as a diplosol. Please bracket it. What is diplosol? Mention its function. Okay, the dorsal wall of the intestine in earthworm is folded into the cavity is called diplosol. This fold contains blood vessels and increase the absorptive area of the intestine. The function of diplosol is which contains a blood vessel and it increase the absorption of absorption of food material. And the inner epithelium consists of columnar cell, glandular cells. The alimentary canal open to the exterior through the anus. Alimentary canal open to the exterior through anus. The ingested organic rich soil passes through the digestive tract. So where digestive enzymes break down complex food into smaller absorbable unit. Okay, so we know very well earthworm feed on the soil which are enriched with organic matter and decayed leaves or the food of the earthworm. So the ingested organic rich soil passes through the digestive tract, where that means in the digestive tract the digestive enzyme break down the complex food into smaller absorbable unit. The simpler molecules are absorbed through the intestinal membrane and are utilized. Okay, next, the simpler molecules are absorbed through the intestinal membrane itself and utilized. The undigested particles along with earth are passed out through the anus, and it is called what? Worm casting or vermicast. Please bracket it. 2 mark question. What is mean by worm casting or vermicast? So the undigested particles along with earth are passed out through the anus, and it is known as worm casting or vermicast. The pharyngeal or salivary gland cells and the glandular cells of the intestine supposed to be the digestive gland which secrete digestive enzymes for digestion of food. Okay, next, the pharyngeal or salivary glands and gland cells and glandular cells of intestine are supposed to the digestive glands and which secrete digestive enzymes for the digestion of food. Okay children, next one is respiratory system. This I will start in my next class, and today's homework explain the process of digestion in earthworm with diagram. This is the only question. Complete it and send it to me. Okay, and in between I have marked some of the 2 mark questions also. That too you will take as a homework and send it to me. Okay children, I will meet you in my get you in my next class. Bye.